Like I said, no problem.
Living with the land. A boat ride. Yay.
Welcome to a voyage of discovery and wonders, of the richness, the diversity, the often surprising nature of living with the land. Our journey begins as dramatic and sudden changes are sweeping over the land. The approaching storm may seem violent and destructive to us, but to nature, it's a new beginning in the cycle of life. Beneath the surface of the land, rich, tranquil waters mud, extracting precious nutrients and minerals. These elements, when combined with sunlight, create one of the first living systems upon our planet. One of those living systems is the rainforest, home to the most amazing concentration of life on our planet. These dense and beautiful forests cover only a tiny portion of the Earth's surface, but they contain more than half of its plant and animal species. Rainforests are also extremely rich and productive living systems, providing us with oxygen, food, medicines, and other elements essential to our lives.
Is that my phone in your pocket?
Yes.
No, it's just this stuff I want to see. Oh, good.
You want to pet him?
In the desert, nature has created a very different, no less beautiful living system. And while this arid landscape may seem lifeless, it is very much alive. The plants and animals that have learned to survive in these harsh conditions make use of what little water they can find and avoid the scorching rays of the relentless sun. The American prairie once appeared as desolate as the desert, but over time, rainwater and nutrients gradually penetrated the hard surface of this land. Even the hooves of the mighty buffalo helped create the rich soil, one day become home to the American farm.
That was just a message from Rose.
Okay. Whack-a-mole.
Oh, Tyson. Mommy, Daddy, and the baby. Oh, no, you don't. No pony like me, though.
Look, it's Rover.
Of all the forces at work on the land, humans have had one of the most profound effects. The need to produce food for a growing world led to the enormous use and sometimes overuse of the land. In our search for more efficient ways to grow food, we often fail to realize the impact of our methods. Today, we're learning to live with the land, discovering better ways to grow food that will assure both human and environmental well-being.
planting crops that thrive on salt water. In Japan, we're learning that by mixing leaves and other living materials into our soil, we can make farmland more fertile without the need for chemicals. Here at Epcot, we're learning to reduce the need for chemical pesticides by breeding and using natural predators, like ladybugs and wasps, to control
How
pests.
will we meet tomorrow's
In the
growing needs
farmlands
for
across
food
America,
production,
we're
yet still
learning
respect
that
the
by
needs of
plowing
the
under
land?
vegetation
Some of the
containing
answers are
natural
being discovered
fertilizers,
just
we can
ahead.
enrich the soil
To help us
without
maintain
producing
these
chemicals.
carefully controlled ecosystems, and for
In
your
arid
safety,
regions,
please
we're
remain
learning to
seated in your
produce
boat
food
at all
and desert
times.
sea coasts by developing and planting crops that thrive in salt. In Japan, we learn that by mixing leaves and other living materials with our soil, we can make
I know. Welcome to the greenhouse. What?
Welcome to our living
Maybe a
laboratory,
long time ago.
where scientists from Epcot and the U.S. Department of Agriculture are exploring innovative ways to produce
Maybe
bountiful
in
harvests now
1997.
and into the future. The tropics are home to the greatest diversity of plants on the planet. Many of these, like papaya, bananas, cacao, coffee, and rice, are well known around the
Coffee.
world. These are just a few of the edible plants that have been an important source of nutrition for people living in the tropics. Many are rich in vitamins and minerals, while others are well adapted to growing in less than ideal conditions. Some, like the water lily, thrive in wet, swampy areas and waterways. All parts of this plant, even the flower petals, are edible. The starchy root of the plant has long been used to make flour for baking. One day, many of these lesser-known tropical plants may be as important as the bananas growing on both sides of the boat.
That's a special tour.
More than 28 million tons of bananas are eaten annually, making it the most popular fruit in the world.
Jana, should I turn you over when we reach 200, 325 in the center? Oh, Dennis. Heat lamps coming up.
When we mention farming, you probably don't think of fish. But fish farming, or aquaculture, accounts for nearly half of all the seafood consumed globally. Tilapia, bass, and catfish, like the ones you see here, are three of the more popular crops raised by fish farmers. The sustainable system we're using here recycles the water in the tanks. As a result, we're able to save millions of gallons each year. Our small fish farm produces nearly 5,000 pounds of fish each year to serve in restaurants around Walt Disney World. Innovations like this one can play an important role in our efforts to produce bountiful harvests and still protect natural resources. While there are more than 50,000 edible plant species in the world, most of us are only familiar with the handful that make up our everyday diet. The common grains growing here, wheat, maize, sorghum, and millet, plus rice, account for nearly 2/3 of our global food consumption. Learning how to increase yields of these staples is an important goal of research around the world.
Okra.
Passion fruit?
I thought that said Aerosmith for a second.
What did it say?
These plants
I don't
are
know.
definitely on their way up. Innovative
Coffee.
growing techniques like these increase yields
Agave.
while more efficiently
Lots of
using
sugar.
resources like water, fertilizer, and pesticides. Another innovation at work here is
Wheat.
our integrated pest management
red
program.
and green
By populating our
Sugar
greenhouses with
cane.
beneficial
Sugar,
insects
sugar,
that prey on
sugar,
harmful
sugar.
pests like
I don't
aphids
need
and
sugar.
flies, we are significantly reducing our reliance on conventional pesticides. We're growing these crops using
don't
our
see any
nutrient
chickens.
film system. This technique precisely controls and recycles water and nutrients. With it,
No,
we
I
can
don't see
produce
the
over
plant Mandy really
27,000
like.
heads of lettuce a year
Oh, I
in
know.
this one small area.
Her special herb. Please let us leave school.
Some of our best ideas have been inspired by nature, like these fruit and vegetable trees. By growing these ground plants vertically, we can increase yields and better control diseases. These crops taste as good as they look. In fact, we serve more than 15 tons of produce from our greenhouses in restaurants here at the land every year. The future of agriculture may include innovative ideas like this vertical growing system. Plants grown in this way use a fraction of the space required by traditional growing methods. That saves water and increases
Snapdragon.
production. The aquaponics system on your left combines hydroponics with aquaculture. The fish provide a natural source of fertilizer for the plants, and the plants help keep the water clean for the fish. It's another great way to produce more while using less. In our lab, Epcot scientists are working with the U.S. Department of Agriculture on a number of innovative projects. The goal of these efforts is to
That looks
produce
fishy.
higher yielding and
Wow,
better
look at
quality
it.
plants.
Yeah. That's a big tuna.
You tuna?
I don't know. You got to tune it in tomorrow to find out.
These greenhouses represent just a fraction of the work being done worldwide to produce bountiful harvests for our growing population. Scientists, farmers, and even backyard gardeners are doing their part to improve the quantity and quality of foods that we all rely upon. Together, we can continue to find more ways to increase food production and protect our precious natural environment. Only then will we truly be living with the land. On behalf of Walt Disney World, we hope you've enjoyed this unique journey through our living laboratory. If you'd like a closer look, then check out the Behind the Scenes walking tour. It's a chance for the whole family to get up close and personal with the plants and growing techniques in our laboratories. Please keep your hands and feet inside the boat and remain seated until the boat comes to a complete stop.
coming to the end of Living with the Land.